Hello, everyone. So today we're meeting on YouTube to talk about programmatic SEO. Indeed, for once, we're not here to talk about content. We're not here to talk about backlinks. We're going to talk about pure technical SEO, and we'll look at a great success story of a client we've worked with at the agency who's getting incredible results and will surely keep growing until reaching, I hope, that's the goal, 1 million monthly visitors. This client is My Brocante. My Brocante is, well, a site that serves as a SaaS for flea markets. Quite simply, if you need to reserve a spot at a flea market or if you need to organize a flea market and so on, you can use My Brocante with their system and internal software. It's a site that's really, honestly, very top notch. Well, excellent. And so here's what we did with My Brocante. You can see it. We're here on the My Brocante homepage. We created this flea market calendar section. And what is a flea market calendar? Quite simply, I personally come from department 36. So I'll go look there, center, here, Indra. We've listed here, in this case, all the flea markets that will be happening, the upcoming flea markets in the 36. What happens when we do this is that we're going to answer the search query flea market in the 36, garage sale in the 36, and we have the list here of all the flea markets listed in the surrounding departments. So I'm around here, actually, between Châteauroux, close to all that. And so we'll have, Montier-Chaume, the Montier-Chaume garage sale, and so on. In this case, where we helped them was by working on the entire architectural part. So I gave them SEO prerequisites for each type of page for the page categories that I call listings here. Actually, it's as if we were on an e-commerce site where we had a product category and then product pages with each of these events one after the other. And so I gave them prerequisites for the listings, what type of page we're going to deploy, the fact of having obviously a main category with garage sales by department, and then more details with timeframes, garage sales for the month of June, for example, garage sales for the month of July, and so on and so forth. One of the challenges, and this is where My Brocante is very, very strong, is that they have an internal flea market resource and list that's huge, which allowed them to fill this calendar instantly. And so that's one of the things we also worked on, how we can potentially use these flea markets to get data, to have all this information. So we obviously use their entire internal database to be able to have all that and be able to highlight all these flea markets and organize them. This means we don't really need content because we're actually meeting the search intent directly on this page by having a flea market listing this time. Because when people search for flea market in the 36, for example, flea market in Indre, flea market tomorrow, what happens is they want a flea market listing. They want to see where the flea markets are, on what date they are, how to get there, how to organize, maybe even how to exhibit. And so that's where My Brocante is very strong because they had all this data. So that's what I helped them with. The part about what type of page we're going to target, what type of intent we're going to target, and how it's all going to work. And so quite simply, we looked at and worked on the architecture, the internal linking, obviously, because in this case, there's a need for very strong internal linking to ensure everything flows up properly for each city, each department, each region, and so on. So we have a whole breadcrumb logic, but we also have a top-down logic. We have a logic here that's present. We have a lateral logic up there on the regional aspect. So there was a lot of work on the internal linking that was very precise and very important, so that all the important pages are highlighted and all those that are less important are highlighted less. And so that we have all the pages evolving throughout the year based on seasonality, based on the flea markets being featured. So we worked on that. What are the results? Because that's what really matters to us. It's that, My Brocante, when we first started working together, which was in January, was getting at most 300 clicks a day. The highest they had reached was an average of 300 clicks per day. Now, the data shows, a bit over 8,000. Recently, they must have hit a peak that probably exceeded 10,000 clicks in a single day. So 10,000 clicks in one day, that gives us, if we look at it monthly, some big peaks. Obviously, those are the weekend peaks. That's when people search for flea markets the most. So we've had some very good results. There you go. The goal, honestly, would be to reach 1 million clicks. In this case, over 6 months, we're still at 300,000 because we're still in the growth phase. Since it's a very large architecture with so many pages, Google is going to take some time to digest all of it. And roughly speaking, the results will come in between 6 months and a year. So I think it's for the next flea market season where they'll be at full speed and really start to take off. And this programmatic strategy will pay off 100%. But for now, we're in the growth phase. You can see it. This is the kind of curve that's really nice to see with very, very strong growth. It's based on a large page creation, so it's quite normal. It's very relevant, and it's bringing them a lot of business right now, a lot of visits. So as I was saying, my goal is to exceed 1 million visits with this client. It's very likely something that will happen next year, in the middle of next year, probably around May or June of next year, in exactly 1 year, because that's when the pages will have reached their full potential. The site will be a bit older, and Google will have, fully grasped the situation. So that's the goal we're going to, I hope, achieve with My Brocante. I thank them very much. Thanks to Baptiste for being my point of contact on this project. We did some great work together. And thanks to My Brocante for allowing me to share some of this data. It's really great, and it allows me personally to promote some of the fine work we do at the agency. So if you ever want to do programmatic SEO on your site one day, and you have a topic where you think, well, okay, here, I think there's an interesting topic for programmatic SEO, and you want to get results like these, basically generating up to 1 million visits per month on your domain name, which is possible for many types of businesses, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll put my link directly in the video description. You can get in touch with me. In any case, I'll tell you the maximum number of visits I think we can reach on your site. I'll also tell you, obviously, if programmatic SEO is relevant for you. And maybe in your case, it's better to do something other than programmatic SEO. Maybe it's better to do something like content creation. It might be better to do something like authority building, net linking. I can even personally go for strategies that are a bit more niche with some more black hat SEO strategies. It's not something I offer to everyone, but I can offer it if it's relevant for you. So please don't hesitate to contact us. It's always a pleasure to help you. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little programmatic SEO use case. Seeing how we can go, well, from a site that was doing roughly a bit less than 10,000 traffic per month to a site that will do 100,000, then a site that will go up to 1 million. So we're still looking at a factor of 100 times between the start and a year and a half later, which will be the final goal. We're not there yet, but the final goal, if we don't reach it, obviously, I'll get my hands dirty again until we get there, because that's the goal now. And it's quite impressive because we've had very little investment for this. There you go, 0 content added, 0 backlinks. So the costs were minimal. It was just time, Leo's brainpower, that went into it, and the internal teams. And that allowed us to get these good results. It obviously required some developer time on their end to set up these pages and so on. But the advantage we have is that we're in a flourishing situation, which is very promising, and will surely develop further until it reaches 1 million visits. There you go. On that note, I wish you a good day. Don't hesitate to contact me. It'll be a pleasure. Hasta la vista.